What a blessing, what an honor, what a privilege to be here with my dear brother Arturo Interview with the Afro Latin Jazz Orchestra. We keep alive a tradition of tremendous nobility.
I was raised in a musical household. My father was a composer, and so like a good son, I took piano lessons just because it was expected of me. But then when I was 12, I discovered Miles Davis and Herbie Hancock, and I thought that's what I needed to do to be happy. I didn't really make it a profession until I was about 19, and I started touring professionally with Carla Bley, famous jazz musician, and I've never looked back. I mean, I guess I didn't get into music. Music was always there. It was just a way of finding my voice in it. I think the most important thing a human being can do is travel internationally. Like, I just remember being 19 and being in the departure lounge for Lufthansa Airlines and hearing people speak a foreign language for the first time, and then just waking up in Berlin and seeing people go to work and seeing people with kids and different architecture. And it's like really, really important for people to travel. I think every human being should, if they had, because a lot of people can't travel, of course. There are countries where you're not allowed to leave or you can't afford to leave. But I think if you have the chance and if you have the means, get out. See the world, see that there are other people, see that they live with the same issues we all live with, and it'll humanize you. I think of the piano as clay, like a big glob of clay that you can shape into anything. I think sometimes when other instruments play, they're so defined. The trumpet is such a defined sound, a saxophone is such a defined sound, that it's not, the malleability is limited because of its immediate. There are some instruments that aren't like that. The clarinet is also very malleable. It can do a lot of different things and sound a lot of different ways. But in particular, I guess the thing about the piano is you can play chords and you can play contrapuntal texture, so that makes it already an instrument unlike any horn. Guitars can do that to some degree, but not nearly the degree as the piano. My favorite instrument, I think, is the trombone because it most resembles the human voice. Music has a way of affecting you emotionally without you having to have words. Dance is like this too, modern dance. But I really love the idea that music can make you feel something. Like when I was 12 years old, there was a piece of classical music by Ravel that because of the way it was orchestrated, because of where I was at in my life, I felt emotions that I could not possibly have understood when I listened to it. I listened to it, I'm 12 years old, what do you know about life? But I felt some deep, profound longing and some slippery sadness that I would not have felt if I had not experienced that piece. And I have found that music consistently delivers that jolt of emotional growth and spiritual growth. It will make you long for places you've never been. It will make you experience joy for things that you've never done. And music will take you and really cause you to have experiences that are outside of the realm of what you know. And I think that's why I love music so much. Music also is a way of conveying conscience and consciousness, and it's a way of teaching history. It's a way of teaching activism. It's a way of knowing history and culture. And so when we remove music education from schools, we remove the story of our history, the stories that need to be told, the story of slavery. If we don't listen to blues and gospel and jazz, they will try to deny terrible things happen in this nation. And I think that music is one way to convey those things and to get people to have a conscience about how to live their lives now. Music is a history of being a way of conveying messages of activism. And I think that plus the ultimate reason I think music is important as an educational tool is it takes you out of yourself. We spend so much time thinking about ourselves and our process, and when you pick up an instrument, you have to devote time and attention to something that is not you. And to get yourself out of yourself is amazing. To put your mind and soul on something that is inanimate and doesn't give you instant gratification, that's the opposite of everything they teach us today. You can pick up a phone and dial up information, sex, food, whatever you want, right? That's a lie. But the real truth is to devote yourself to something that is bigger than you. Because in checking yourself against a reference point that is bigger than you, you begin to understand who you really are. Things aren't easy.
That's great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a good day.